Please raise your hand and we'll get started. Tyler Wilson, any questions for Coach? Wilson?
Hey, Coach, how you doing?
Good, thanks.
We saw today, obviously, you guys brought back Megan and then signed Shatori. I know you told us pretty much not to be surprised about Megan coming back. If you could just talk a little bit about the decision to bring Shatori in for the 7-day.
Well, I mean, first thing, we've had injuries all across our roster, and we felt like we needed to bring in somebody who had athleticism and quickness. She fit the bill certainly on that. I thought that her knowing our system and how we go about things would be a big plus. We knew that she had been working out and was in shape. It's not going to be basketball shape up and down completely because she's been off for a few weeks, but she had a good season in Phoenix last year. Everybody knows she was part of the trade for Tina, so an opportunity for her to come back where she won a championship. Just the familiarity and that she knows our team and they know her and she knows, it was kind of an easy day today for her to come in and get assimilated with our plays. That was a big part of it for us.
Thank you.
Kareem.
Hey, Mike, how are you?
Good, thanks.
Sorry if I repeat on something. Looks like I came in a little bit late. Did you update Maisha and Tasha yet?
I did not. Maisha is probably out for this weekend. Natasha is a possibility. She went through, we had a fairly light practice today. I mean, we got a lot of tired, sore bodies, but she went through, the practice today, and I'm hoping that she will play.
So did Maisha not practice at all?
No, not at all.
Gotcha. Are we, is there any consideration on just waiting until we get back from the break?
Yeah, there is. I mean, we've had that discussion, but we've got 8 days here before we play our last game. So we'll see where we are next week, early next week. I'm done being a prognosticator on when players are going to play because, it just isn't worth it right now.
Which means you'll absolutely love this next one. Can you just tell us what Elena is able to do? Has she done more than one-on-ones yet?
No.
Nope. Not even 2-on-2s, just one straight one-on-ones, and
pretty much she's done some defensive drills. She did some shooting drills with some of her teammates, but nothing of live contact.
Oh, and just kind of, and I think you were in the middle of talking about Megan and Shatori kind of when I popped in. What was it about Megan that, she clearly made an impression in her short time here? Why was it important to bring her back?
Well, I think there's a couple things. Number one, having played 3 games already with us, she, had spent that time learning our system. She's acquitted herself in the minutes she's played. I mean, her efficiency in the time that she's played has been good. I mean, she's shooting 60-something% or whatever from the floor. She's getting a rebound about every 2.5, 3 minutes, which is a unbelievably good average. Her rebounding, the fact that, she's smart and picks up things. There weren't a lot of other people out there right now that we just wanted to bring in at this time. There's some people that got waived, but the assumption is right now that some of them are going to re-sign with the same teams and doing the same thing we're doing. That's, and we need somebody, now who's, tuned into what we are doing.
And with these 7 days, these 7-day contracts, will you kind of I guess when we get back from the break, more likely, will you go through the rest of the season kind of consistently evaluating, looking for, either renewing those 7 days or looking for someone to kind of, or always keeping an eye for someone to kind of come in on a 7-day?
To be determined. I mean, right now they're on a 7-day. At the end of these 7 days, we'll decide whether to give them another one. And that would take us into the break, and coming out of the break on the other side, you can do a 7-day, 3 times for a particular player. We may make a decision, coming out of the Olympic break that somebody is worth signing for the rest of the year, or we may need to get somebody else. We'll see where the health of our team is, come the first week or so of August. I think that will have a lot to do with what we do going forward. Some of it will have to do with Emma's decision too, because if she is going to play for us, we're going to have to make a roster decision in here somewhere. And so, that all of those things will factor into it.
Perfect. Thanks, Mike.
Yep.
Tyler,
Hey, Coach, it sounds like you said Shatori's already in and been able to get some shots up in the facility. Is she good to go for Saturday?
Yeah, she practiced today. I mean, they could practice this morning. So they came in and they signed this morning, and then practiced with us. They had to go through drug testing yesterday, or not drug, COVID testing yesterday to be eligible to practice today.
And then for Shatori, what have you seen from her over the past 2 years that's different from when you included her in the trade for Charles?
I mean, this year there's really nothing much to see. She played in 1 game. Last year in Phoenix, her shooting percentages, things that, she had been working on here started to get better. She was becoming more consistent from the 3-point line. We've always loved her athleticism, her quickness. She's aggressive, and the way we're playing and the kind of guards we're playing against, we felt that somebody who had her kind of elite speed and quickness would be really beneficial to our team.
And then kind of just more of a housekeeping thing, is the hardship waiver still available to you guys right now?
Yeah, technically it is, but because of the way it reads, you basically have to start over with it. And so the games that people would have to miss carry over in past the break for us. So there's no point in doing that now with 2 games left. We're not looking to do it because then it would prevent either Elena or Erica from playing when we first come out of the break. So there's no point in doing that at this point.
Thank you, Coach.
Yep.
that's it, Coach. Thank you.
Okay, you bet. Thanks.
If anyone has a question for Megan, please raise your hand. Christy?
Hey, Megan, how is it to just remain focused throughout the kind of business portion of the league and the transactions in the last couple of days?
Yeah, it's obviously a lot to deal with. As a player, my goal is just to stay ready. Whenever my name's called, I'm going to be there. I'm going to do it, whatever I can to help my team. And so obviously, it's kind of complicated on how all those contracts work, but honestly, I'm just, ready to go whenever I'm needed. So I'm just blessed to be here for sure.
No doubt. And just one follow-up, Coach said you guys were back at practice today. And I know with the disjointedness of what we just discussed, how has that been? And also with Shatori Walker-Kimbrough having already played for Washington, how was that kind of chemistry looking today with everyone on the court?
Yeah, pretty good. It was great to get back to practice today, to be able to just kind of go over things again. I think lately, having a practice in to just kind of go over plays, go over the playbook has been really helpful for me. I know it was for Shatori, even though she played here. It's pretty cool to be able to be reunited with her. I played with her this past season in Poland. And so I was even already noticing, the on-court chemistry we had today in practice. And so that was really fun just to get reunited with her.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Jen.
Hey, Megan, welcome back.
Thanks.
Did you know ahead of time that you were going to be resigned and got to like chill while you waited, or were you in limbo this week?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of knew what was going to happen for the most part. They were probably going to sign me back, and so it's just a waiting game. Just trying to figure out what they're going to do. So again, I just was ready just in case. So that's kind of the thing with the league. Players get moved around a lot, whether it's in the team or whether it's just changing over contracts or even to different teams. And so that's just the business. That's what it is here. And so we just have to be ready for that. And I think I did a pretty good job of doing that.
So have you been able to like settle into your apartment and do those sorts of things at least, like how are you feeling? Like, I know that last week was a major whirlwind. Are you feeling like now that today that you're signed, things are starting to slow down at all, or is it still crazy?
Still a little crazy, but I'm definitely more settled now. Trying to get, got into practice today. That was good. And really excited to go to New York tomorrow. And so I'm just ready to play in the games. It was really sad to not play in that last game. I know that we're really, we're low on numbers right now. And so I'm going to do whatever I can to help. And I'm just glad to be back today.
Last question for me real quick. Just wanted to get your reaction to the name, image, likeness legislation that the NCAA is now allowing, and, how you would have, maybe been able to capitalize on that when you were at Iowa.
Yeah, I mean, it's a huge thing for college athletes to be able to profit off of their name, image, and likeness. I think I've heard a lot about Iowa, specifically what they're doing. They have this entire program set up for the athletes called Flight, where they can get educated on different types of opportunities that they can be presented with to be able to get compensated. And so, that'd been nice when I was there at Iowa, but it's all right.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Kareem.
Hey, Megan, welcome back.
Thanks.
Was just talking to Mike about, that you'd made an impression in those 3 games since you had been here, and that, that was a big factor in wanting to keep you and things like that. And so I'm curious, what does that mean to you that you were able to kind of make such an impression in such a short time?
I think it's really important for my confidence, especially being signed back, to know that this program, this organization believes in me. I think that's really important moving forward for myself. I think that's really important for anybody in this league, is to be able to have an organization that backs you, that is ready for you to contribute. Honestly, I'm just going to go into every single day to do whatever I can to help the team. I know right now, again, as I said earlier, we're really low on numbers, especially, backing up the post right now. That's kind of my main job. And so that's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to do that to the best of my ability. And what I love about this system and Coach T is that he lets us be free and to do what we do best. And so obviously I've been working on my range, working on, perimeter skills, but I'm not getting away from what I do best, that back to the basket post play that I love to do. And so I'm just thankful that I'm in that kind of system.
And you actually kind of went right where I was going to ask you about, it didn't seem to be any hesitation in your game when you kind of got in there. You kind of got thrown in the mix, and, you went out there and started putting up shots and doing what you do immediately. Whereas, I think there can be a tendency to, when you get into the new system or with new team, to maybe be a little bit more passive and find your way. How were you able to kind of, or I guess maybe that was the freedom of Coach? Did you just get to kind of go in there and just do you without really kind of thinking or worrying about that other stuff?
Yeah, I think, again, it was just the system, what I'm put in. They got me here, they signed me for a reason, to do what I do best. And I think I was able to do that. That kind of took a little pressure off of me. It's not like they wanted me to go in there and jack up a bunch of, step back threes. Like, that's not what I do. I'm there to be able to provide an inside presence, to give a breather for our post players. And for me specifically, just to focus on rebounding and getting us extra possessions. That's what I've really tried to focus on. And I love rebounding. That's one of my favorite things. And so just to do that has been great. And I think, I just got to follow God's plan. He's put me exactly where I'm supposed to be. And that definitely takes the nerves off.
That's perfect. Thank you.
Thank you.
Last question to Pepper.
Hi, Megan. It's great to see you. So a question about your game on Saturday. Just what's the plan to stopping Benija Laney? I mean, she's at home and she's just been playing really well so far this season. So how are you going to stop her? How's the team going to stop her?
Yeah, that's a really good question. You know, she's a great player. I love her story, honestly, just to see where she's come from, you know, getting cut and being able to come back and make a huge impact for her team. So credit to her. Obviously, we've got a big challenge in her trying to stop her. I think, you know, the most important thing is keep the ball out of her hands, honestly. You know, pressure her, try to make other people beat us. You know, we're just going to go into it kind of like that. But yeah, it's exciting to be able to play this team. They're young. So we have to be ready for that energy for sure. And for us, we're injured, but you know, we're still ready and we're gonna keep playing our hardest.
All right. Thank you so much. Good luck.
Thank you.
That's it, Megan. Thank you.
Thank you.
And then if anyone has any questions for Shatori, please raise your hand. We will start with Cream.
Shatori, welcome back.
Hey, thank you so much.
What is this week been like? What has this been like? You know, last time you were here, you were, you know, winning a title, and now you're
Right.
back.
I mean, it's so good to be back. I mean, I'm just honestly, for starters, blessed to be back in the league. And then also, you know, even more blessed to be back here in DC with a great organization, great team, great coaching staff, great facilities. I mean, I'm just super blessed, super happy, and super honored to even be considered.
Does it feel like kind of settling back in where you already have been? Like, is there a whole lot of transition for you? Or since you were here not too long ago, can you kind of, you know, hit the ground running?
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy because when we went through the plays today, I feel like I remember like 85% of them. So it was like honestly, I feel like I haven't been gone. It was a weird feeling. I mean, it just feels like home. I mean, the team is so welcoming. They were so welcoming. Coach was welcoming, even like down to like the Wizard staff. Like, I mean, it was just like it just feels really good to be back.
And as far as on the court, just kind of what's the mindset? What's your approach? Obviously, with the numbers, you know, you're going to get time, you know, immediately. So I guess, how do you approach that part?
You know, just go out there and bring in energy. You know, I feel like Natasha Cloud is one of the best leaders in the league. And, you know, she kind of gave me some talks, just telling me to stay aggressive. And I'm just, you know, just like I said, I'm happy to be here and I'm happy to bring whatever I can to the team. Whether that means bringing energy on the defensive end, hitting open shots, picking up tempo. Like I have an open mind going in, and I'm going to just start off with that energy for sure. Being disruptive on defense to start.
Well, that's perfect. Welcome back again. That's all
Thank
for
you
me.
so much.
Pepper.
Hi, Shatori. It's great to see you. Congratulations on
Thank you so
being back in
much.
Washington. So what's most exciting to you to be back with the Mystics?
Well, like I just Kareem had just said before, like the last time I was here, I was a champion. So I mean, that's like the freshest memory I have right now. So just, you know, it's just that, you know, that championship mentality, that standard that the coach and the team has, you know. So I'm excited to be pushed every day. I'm excited to be, not saying that I wasn't other places, but you know, like just surrounded by other great competitors. And like this was where I got drafted at, you know. So it's just great memories. This feels like home to me. I went to school 35-40 minutes down the street. So like I said, this is home. It just feels really good to be back. I mean, everything is just really exciting at this point.
Thank you so much.
No problem.
Tyler.
Hi, Shatori. Welcome back to DC.
Thank you.
You mentioned you're excited to get back with Tosh as a point guard. Was there a player, a former teammate that you reached out to that excited to get the gang back together at all?
Honestly, they reached out to me. Like they were super pumped. Like before I even had a chance to hit anybody, they were hitting me. And so like, you know, the feeling was really mutual. Like I feel like when coach called me, I like picked up on the first ring, like just really, I was just super, super excited. Like I said, not only just to be here, but just for the opportunity again. You know, I was, you know, during that off time when I wasn't in the league, I was just continuing to stay ready, just continue to have that faith that, you know, that call would come, and it came, and happy it came from his phone number.
And then you said you're going to bring the energy, you want to bring it on the defensive end as well. For
Mhm.
you being now on a 7-day contract, how different is that for you and showing that you need to prove yourself to extend your time?
Yeah, I kind of don't approach it like that with the 7-day con. I just approach it like just day by day. You know, how can I help this team today? How can I help this team? And then the next day, and then the next day, you know, and just continue to build off that. And I feel like with that, I feel like everything will take care of itself at that point. But, you know, at the end of the day, it's still basketball. And like, I was here, so I am familiar with a lot of the players. I'm familiar with a lot of the plays. And just, you know, not overthinking it and just continue to do what I do.
Thank you. Good to see you again.
Thank you so much.
Jen.
Hey, Shatori, good to see you.
Thank
Welcome
you. Good to see you
back.
too.
You know, you talked a little bit about how your teammates were hitting up your phone, but what was the scene when you walked in today? I'm imagining it was loud and maybe a little chaotic.
Yeah, I actually had walked past. I was walking in, and I had walked past the weight room, and Natasha was in there, and you know, she has some volume to her voice, so she called my name, and Deladon embraced me. Then as everyone started trickling in, you know, I was just embraced by hugs. It was just really welcoming. And even like the players that I'm not familiar with, Tina and Zealous and Alicia Clark and Sydney Weiss, like they were embracing me too. Like it was just like kind of contagious. It was just a really good feeling, even with the coaches as well. It's a really good feeling to be back.
That's awesome. And then, you know, as far as your game goes, are there things that you've learned or things that you've added to your game since you've been here?
You know, they're gonna continue to push me on both sides of the ball. And coach kind of talked to me, you know, just about just bringing that energy, but definitely the aggressiveness on the defensive end. Because I feel like for me personally, that's where I feel like my best offense is my defense. You know, getting steals, being disruptive, getting out and runs. And even Natasha Cloud said, you know, she's going to push the tempo. So making sure I look up when I'm running the floor and stuff. So, you know, just staying true to who I am and continue to build off of that. And if I don't know, being able to ask the leaders, Natasha, Deladon, Coach T, what I need to do to help the team.
Thank you.
No problem.
Christy.
Shatori.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey now. Boom, that's all I'm gonna do. Okay, no, I'm done. But no, welcome back. And how important was it for you? And what were the steps that it took for you to stay ready for this moment so you didn't have to get ready? So the call comes and you're not like, oh snap, I got to get in the gym. But what were you doing in the meantime to be ready for today?
Being I just love basketball, I can't stay away from it. So I was honestly in the gym probably like 5 to 6 times a week. Just, you know, like it's therapeutic for me so like that's like my therapy. So it wasn't hard to stay in the gym. Was I winded today a little bit, but but I mean, I like I said, with the plays and with me, like I said, I love basketball. So I've been watching all the WNBA games, like just, you know, you don't know if you're going to get that call. You don't know where that call is going to come from. So just being able to watch the teams like, okay, Dallas does this, LA does this, different teams, like different teams do different things. And when I watch it, basketball, I don't watch it as a fan. I watch it from like an analytical person. So I'm always watching the plays and things. So, you know, just staying in tune, staying in touch, you know, texting past teammates, hey, good game this, good game that, you know, just staying definitely involved as much as I can.
Awesome. And then you have the relationship with Megan Gustafson because you play with her in Poland and having that one practice now under your belt with her. What was that vibe like? I know you said you were a little winded, but just in terms of the chemistry and connectivity that you guys have established already.
Yeah. And I mean, even prior to going overseas together, I played against Megan in college, even though I was a little while back, I'm getting a little bit older, but so me and Meg are familiar with each other. And, you know, the communication is there. And that's honestly the biggest part for me, you know, because it's not going to happen overnight. And, you know, just I feel like I'm pretty familiar with her spots where she likes to be, you know, on defense and on offense as well. Like, you know, her strengths on, you know, defensive pick and rolls and things like that. But also the communication, talking through things. Like I said, it's not going to happen overnight, but being able to communicate with each other and just continuing to build.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Tori.
No problem.
Wilson?
Hey, Shatori, welcome back to DC.
Thank you so much.
Quick question for you. Obviously, coming out of Maryland, you get drafted here. Different, trying to find your legs in the league. This time coming back here, obviously, you guys already mentioned the steps to get back here. What's it like knowing that they kind of need what you bring now versus trying to fit into a role the first go round?
Yeah, it just definitely adds to my confidence, knowing, when it's one thing to be confident, but it's another thing when you get, past MVPs telling you, they're happy for you to be here and, we need what you have, or Tosh Cloud, like I said, one of the greatest leaders, I think one of the best two-way players in the league, giving you that confidence. It's a good feeling. So I feel like for me, it just adds to the confidence, knowing that they believe in me, not just me believing in myself. Coach T, even just the simple fact that Coach T considered me, I feel like that accounts for something as well. So, it's just all with them always giving me confidence, and it just builds on that.
Thank you. And then I had one more quick question. What did it mean? Sorry, I heard you say you've been staying up with what's been happening in the league. What was it like seeing, Brianna and Steph now on the same team in the league?
Yeah, I mean, that's amazing. I actually just texted Bree yesterday because she got called to be an all-star. And that just being able to see Bree before we got to college, like we came in that summer and freshman year, and just to see her now, I actually literally, when I saw her, I asked her if she had like a waist trainer on, because she got so skinny, just like she completely transformed. And it's so crazy to see, it's just a happy moment to see Kyla, who was my roommate my senior year, and she was a freshman, to see her now in the league starting. Steph Jones, didn't get drafted right away, but continued to work and got to where she's at. It's just, even though we all played at different times, like we're just one big family. And it's just great to see everybody continuing with their successes.
Thank you.
Last question to Jen.
Just kind of building off that real quick, just wanted to get your reaction on the name, image, likeness rule change, allowing college players to capitalize on all that, and what that might have meant for you guys at Maryland.
Yeah, it's about time, but yeah, I'm super excited for the players now and then the players to come. You work so hard in college. You just work so hard, and so to be able to be rewarded not just with the championships, but the individual rewards that will come with that. I'm just super excited. And, the people before me and, my class and the people after that, I feel like that's what we were not playing for, but, it's happy to see that the recognition that athletes prior to worked hard to, so that, people after us can benefit as well.
Awesome. Thank you.
No problem.
That's it, Shatori. Thank you.
Thank you guys. Have a good one.